Plaintiff Rebecca Barnwell says the defendant is her niece. And she was always a good kid until she turned 20 and started drinking, smoking pot, skipping school, and showing up to family functions intoxicated. Rebecca's suing her niece for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Christy Hodges says Rebecca was like a mother to her, but she has some nerve talking about her past when Rebecca is the one who physically threatened Christy's ex-boyfriend. Christy claims after threatening her ex, Rebecca stole her car and scrapped it, so she's countersuing.
Start with you.
Christy was my baby. Growing up, Christy was a very good child. She was an honor student. When she turned 20, she started partying, she started drinking, smoking weed, missing classes, showing up to family functions intoxicated.
Sounds like me.
You see, he turned out to be all right. Go ahead.
And
family functions.
yeah, like family reunions, dinners.
Well, there's always one. In fact, there's probably a lot of them turning up their trunk. She wasn't the only one. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
You had an uncle there for sure. There's always an uncle for sure.
Yeah, but she was the baby. She was the good child.
Go ahead.
And in November of in 2011, she went to jail for trespassing. And she, when she got out, she got back into class. And I'm not sure if she's, what she's doing now, because we don't talk. But
why?
Because of this lawsuit.
All right.
Let's
see, what do you have?
She used to be my baby. We were really, really close.
And you fell out over this? That's all?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What you mad about? Y'all couldn't have been getting along that day either.
No, we weren't mad. We weren't mad.
That was an off day for you. All right.
I just don't smile a lot.
All right. Let me hear from you. Give me some background.
This was my auntie. I call the rest of my aunts aunt. This is my auntie.
Okay.
We have a bond, a relationship that I have had with no other family member. We had a mother-daughter relationship, even though this was my auntie. This hurt so much. This was my support. When something went wrong.
Did you have all these problems that she talks about?
I have had some problems in my past, but who I was then now, who I was then is not who I am.
What are you doing now?
I'm in school for cosmetology.
Good. All right. Go ahead.
If I needed someone to call, I always called her. Okay, there's been days that I just needed her so bad, and she would just cry with me. I couldn't do that. Just looking at her right now, I just want to go over there and give her a hug.
Go, please do. You are meet in the middle or go over there. Love you.
I love you.
They're going to have to give me some Dr. Phil money. Dr. Phil get plenty of money for putting people together. All right, that's good. I'm glad to see that. See, you even smiling now.
I am.
Tell me about the loan you're suing her for.
We were talking in January of last year, and she didn't have enough money for her tuition and books, and I loaned her $3,200.
That was for the entire year or for the entire, what is it, 2-year cosmetology?
It was a year.
I'm in a 18th-month program.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was about 2 years. I sent my niece to the cosmetology
She didn't give me any money. And
neither of my niece. Go ahead.
I'm on a very fixed income. I'm on disability, and it's me and my son, and so things were getting a little bit tight.
When was she to repay you? That's a lot of money for a young lady that's going to school. How did you expect her to repay you?
She was working too.
So what was the payment plan then?
She was supposed to pay me back at least $200 a month.
Just trying to see if you were being reasonable. Was she living alone or?
No, she was living at her mom and dad's house.
Okay, so she didn't have many expenses.
No.
And she was working full time?
Part time.
How much was she making a month? Do you know?
I don't know.
All right,
But,
before
I mean,
you loan somebody $3,000 and they got to pay you back $200 a month, find out how much they make. She
Well,
might
I mean,
not make but $300.
No.
And the other 100 go on liquor and weed. You said she'd do all that.
But she
You know,
don't
you're
need
going to be
that.
the last one. You think you're going to come before her weed and liquor?
I should, yes.
Well, ma'am, you can forget that. Go
I
ahead.
should, yes,
All right. How
yes.
much were you making a month?
I wasn't working. I don't know what she's talking about.
What type of establishment was it?
I thought you were cutting hair. She was cutting hair.
Ma'am?
My mother was a cosmetologist. She's passed away now. I'm following in her footsteps. I used to help her, and I used to make tip money. It varied on her clients.
Okay, so did you borrow $3,200? Let's just go right there.
Yes, I signed a promissory note.
All right, how did you intend to repay her?
I didn't. She's saying I was
didn't
supposed
what?
to make payments. I was going to make it all in full.
Oh,
She has the
where were you going
promissory
to get
note.
that money from?
I figured a grant from the school.
Okay, did you explain that to her?
Yes, I figured I had been done.
No, did you explain it to her?
No.
What did you think her impression was of you repaying her? Huh?
I don't know, sir. I don't know.
This is the first time you're hearing this?
Yeah.
So it's something she didn't come up with today.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
she signed this, and it says it
Let's
was
see it.
signed a year to be paid back a year from the date.
Your counterclaim, how does she owe you for the value of a car?
2 months before the promise note ran out, she came to my house while I was at school, and she physically threatened my ex-boyfriend and got the keys to my car and took it to the shredder and got scrap metal.
Ma'am? Did you do that?
I did.
To hire her to get some new.
You said better hire her?
Yeah.
Get some of my money back. That's right. That's
She's all
pretty,
business.
that's pretty good enforcement. What do you have to say, ma'am? You think it's legal?
He gave
What?
me the keys.
She said you're threatening.
I did.
What did you threaten to do to him? 'Cause
Ball
I
him
don't-
up in a ball. Ball him up like a pretzel. If he didn't give me the
Is he a
keys.
small guy? A small guy?
He was smaller than me.
And he actually gave you the key.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you sell the whole car? I guess he wouldn't give you the title.
It wouldn't, it really wouldn't have brought more than $250 anyway. It was raggedy.
All right, you're countersuing for $3,000. You have,
have a-
anything that shows the value was $3,000?
Yes, sir. I got
Let's
a
see
blue
it,
book
please.
value.
Did you know it was illegal what you were doing?
Yeah.
She care?
A lot of people might want to use your services, man.
But I mean,
Everybody doesn't want a hitman who's going to have a gun and go and get the money, and then you catch a case because you sent a hitman with a gun. You're not a bad person to send. You just go, hey, I'm going to ball you up. You know, what you say? What do you say you tell them?
I was gonna ball him up like a pretzel.
Yeah.
But her car was not worth $3,000.
What type of car was it, ma'am?
A 2001 Ford Focus.
Was that right?
Yeah.
All right. And I have a 2001 Ford Focus Blue Book estimate of $3,028.
If it would have been worth more than that, I would have made him give me the title too, and I would have sold it.
What was wrong with it?
It was about 3 different colors.
No.
Go ahead.
Yes, it was.
What else?
The seats had holes in them.
What else?
It was ripped. The motor was ragged out where she'd be burning the roads up. It was just raggedy. It
All
wasn't-
right. And I believe you. Otherwise, I believe you would have forced him to give up the title too. Man don't just don't give up his car and his keys. He knew you wasn't driving it around the corner on a joyride. So he knew why he was giving that car up, and it wasn't worth $3,000. I'm with her, ma'am. I will give you $1,500 for that car. And ma'am, you were wrong. You were wrong. It's 2 left shoes. $1,500 is your judgment for the car, and I'll grant you $2,950 for your loan, leaving the plaintiff with how much?
$1,450.
All right, $1,450. Have a good day, folks.
I love you.
I love you too. I hope you're happy, and I hope we can start working on our relationship to get it back to the way it used to be.
Me too.